What's up, guys? It's Professor Gnome, and we're back today looking at Blissey EX. Kind of finishing out my little triangle rotation. We did Dragapult, Conkeldurr, and now we're going to be doing Blissey. The Happy Switch ability is pretty cool. What it allows us to do is move one basic energy from one of our Pokemon to any other Pokemon, and then it also has the return attack for 3 energies for 180 damage, and then we draw cards until we have 6 in hand. So independently, not super strong. But what we can do is we can utilize Munkidori. So what we're able to do is, as long as this Pokemon has a dark energy attached to it, we can move up to 30 damage counters from one Pokemon to another. So what we can do is any damage counters that end up on our Blissey or anything else on the board, we can move the dark energy onto the Munkidori, use its ability, move all the damage counters over, and then move the energy back to whatever we want with either a second Blissey or whatever. Also in this deck, I'm running as my Chansey of choice, I'm running the Lucky Bonus. It almost never comes up, but when it does, it's really hype. That's why I'm running it. Pretty much what it is that if it's in our prize cards and we pick it up from it, the face down position and our bench isn't full, we can put it onto our bench, and if we do, we flip a coin. If it's heads, then we take an additional prize card. All of those conditions almost never happen, but when they do, it's pretty exciting. But we just need a Chansey, so this is kind of the best one. The last main Pokemon that I'm running, though, is Roaring Moon EX, and the reason I'm running this is because of the fact that typically what can happen is that in the late stages of the game for that final knockout, whether it's against a Charizard or whatever, it's nice to just have something where we can just throw Roaring Moon down. We'll typically have 2 Blisseys on the board, and so as long as we have 2 Blisseys on the board and we have, 2 energy, all we do is we slap down Roaring Moon, we move our energies onto it, we place the last dark energy from hand, and then we can Frenzy Gouging anything we want out of the game and kind of use it as like a late game closer. So we run 1 copy of it, and we're just kind of able to utilize it that way. In terms of our supporters and other cards, we run the Turbo Energy just to be able to get all our energies out onto the board. We run an EXP share, so we always have an energy on board to be able to manipulate and move. We have the Hero's Cape. Let's just make our Blissey even tankier than it already is. Obviously double turbos, but then also, more importantly, we run Cheren's Care. This is just so we can loop Blisseys over and over and over again. Make it so, they always stay full health. We don't really have too much to worry about on that front. And then, lastly, as in kind of like important cards that we use, we just run things like Lost Vacuum. I run double Energy Loto just to try to get into our double colorless and things like that. And then we also are just running a whole bunch of Pokégears because we're really just trying to get through our cards as fast as possible, get into our pieces, and once we're set up, we're pretty much good to go. Most things can't one-shot us, and so we're able to manipulate energy around, move stuff around, and it works out pretty well for us. The main matchups that we're going to struggle with are things like Chen PAL, because it will be able to clear our 300 health total and not really leave us with any damage in order to move around. And obviously Conkeldurr, which is what I showed in the previous video. So outside of that, though, our matchups are pretty good. Like, Blissey's actually surprisingly strong. So we'll get into the games in a second, but for final announcements, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube-y stuff. And then also be sure to join the community Discord. It's growing, and it's been a great experience to have. We all look for games. We're just discussing the game, working on deck lists together, all that kind of stuff. And then lastly, the community tournament is coming up on June 1st, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On June 1st. I think I said that. Can't remember. The entry code, if you want to enter, is GNOME, so G-N-O-M-E. All of this stuff can be found in the description down below, so feel free to join any of those. We'd love to have you. Thanks for checking out the content, and I will see you guys all in Game 1. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and we'll see what we get and what our opponents are playing in a moment. We get double Chansey, so not too bad, and we open a Munkidori. So that's not too bad for us. We also have the Pokégear. Hopefully we hit something. We get a mulligan from our opponent. They are playing, what is that card? Dragapult EX. I keep forgetting all the card names. Dragapult EX, which is kind of what we're hoping to run into a lot of. We counter it pretty hard. And so what ends up happening is they pretty much their deck doesn't function as well without. Pretty much their deck doesn't function against us is more or less what I'm trying to say. Since they have to put damage counters around on the board. Yep, they're just gonna FF immediately. Well, that all works out for us. Fun game number 1. I'll see you guys in game number 2. Alright, we're into game number 2, and we won the coin flip, so we will be going first. We'll open Munkidori. And then we have double Nest Ball. We did open Cheren's Care again, which I'm not super pleased with, but not the biggest deal in the world. We do have the Turbo Energies, which is okay for us. There's an Iron Leaves. Oh, cool. Blissey, perfect. So we'll go Nest Ball for Blissey, or Chansey rather. We will go Nest Ball for a second Munkidori. And then we'll pass our turn here. Since what I'd like to be able to do is evolve into Blissey, attack with Munkidori with the Turbo Energy, and get our energies around on the board. Would be would be preferential. Them opening Iron Leaves is kind of nice for us. It kind of insinuates they don't have much going on. Yeah, they didn't. That's pretty nice. Got rid of double generator for us. An ancient booster capsule. So overall, pretty good. If they can't retreat out Iron Leaves, that actually works out pretty well for us. As of right now, it doesn't look like they can. And even if they can, they would go energy onto Miraidon. If they go energy into Miraidon, then oh. Alright, well that's certainly a choice. Oh, cool. Alright, so we get the Arven. We can go Turbo Energy here. Manually attach. We can Arven. Could go Loto here. And another Energize. Go Loto. We do get another Dark Energy. That works out for us. Then we can Turbo Energize. Get ourselves 2 more Dark Energy. Go 1. And we'll go another 1. Works out pretty good for us. So, what should have happened... Alright, that's... Them putting both their energies onto this is, like, objectively bad. At bare minimum, they should have gone Miraidon with energy on the last turn, and then they could have put that energy onto Iron Hand, or Iron Leaves, so they could at least manually retreat, go into Miraidon, get the attacks off, power this up. Like, you got to at least try to do something. So, we'll retreat. We can go Blissey. We can attach the energy. Then from here, we'll just attack for 180, draw ourselves a couple cards. There's really no reason to use the TM. Cool, we can put another Chansey down. It seems like our opponent's just super stuck. What are you doing? So they're super stuck and they kind of suck. I'm very confused, to put it lightly. We'll go Lost Vacuum. and EXP share. We can Lost Vacuum away one of... Yeah. We don't really need the technical energy anymore. So we can get rid of that. We can throw the EXP share down. And then we can hit the return. Draw ourselves a couple more cards. Cool, we got the double colorless. Makes it even better for us. Take 2 prizes. This is a really anticlimactic game. So they can go arm press here. Man, they're bad. So they can pull up. Okay. I mean, that's something. So they got the Ampy very much. They get themselves 2 prize cards. Place that down. We will get rid of the Earthen Vessel and the Dark Energy since we don't really need it at this point. We'll just grab ourselves another Chansey. Place that down. We can just go ahead and hit the return. If they boss up another Chansey, though, that'd actually be crazy. What if they just go, like, I guess triple boss wouldn't make a difference because they're not going to be able to do anything here. But how crazy would it be, though, if they did, like, if they went, like, Heavy Baton, Iron Hands, boss up the next Chansey, knock that out, and then get another boss off their prize cards? That would go kind of crazy. And they would just get bailed out for being terrible. Hold on, there's the Iron Hands? No way. It might... Well, it can't happen. If they had like a Heavy Baton or something, that would actually be crazy. They got so lucky. I guess I just attack here. Do I want to bother, like, you know, no. I don't want to bother using Iono. Because there's nothing they can do to get 2 more prize cards quick enough. And we got the Hero's Cape, so that's even better for us. That's really funny, though. So peak acceleration for 100. Alright, so here's going to be our play. We go Arven here for Nest Ball. We Nest Ball ourselves out a new Chansey. Then what we can do is Happy Switch, put an energy onto Munkidori. We can move the damage onto the Iron Hands. we can go ahead and attach the cape. So we're completely safe even from a arm press or something similar. We can go ahead and play down the double colorless. And then we'll hold on to the Cheren's Care, so that way we can pick up... Oh, I'm an idiot. I meant to play the double colorless onto the Blissey so I could attack, knock this out. Oh, that's so annoying. Alright. Not the biggest deal in the world. Because we'll Cheren's Care to pick this up anyway, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's certainly annoying. Oh, I'm so sad I did that. I just made a huge misplay because I wasn't paying attention for a second. There's a Techno Radar. So they'll be able to get themselves one more Iron Crown. Or not. They go Peak Acceleration again. So they have all the energy onto this Iron Hands in the back here. So what we'll do is we'll place down Blissey. We can go ahead and Munkidori. Place the energy or the damage onto the Iron Hands. We can Happy Switch. Move one Dark Energy to the Blissey. We can Happy Switch again. And move this energy onto the other Munkidori. We can place the energy, or I keep saying energy. We can place the damage onto the Iron Hands. Then we will go Cheren's Care, pick everything back up, and reset the scenario. Now we can return. So this we should have won the game this turn rather than next turn, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. It'd actually be pretty funny. We can actually get the Roaring Moon play off, and so we might do that just for like the fun of it. Because so this is an example of like where the Roaring Moon would come in, whether we already have it in hand or if we have like a Nest Ball or Ultra Ball or whatever. Pretty much what we can do is we'll have two Blissies on the field. We play down Roaring Moon. We use Blissey's Happy Switch 2 times, put the energy onto the Roaring Moon, and then we just attach from hand. We can use Cheren's Care to pick up the Blissey and go from there. If they top deck Boss, I swear, all my life, I'm going to be so upset. Alright, so they retreated everything to go Iron Crown. Which, again, is totally fine for us, because we'll just use the Roaring Moon situation. So this is an example. We'll actually get to show it off, which is kind of cool. So we can go Happy Switch. We'll be able to move the Dark Energy onto the Roaring Moon. We Happy Switch. Move to the Roaring Moon. Then what we can do is manually attach. Oh, they didn't attack us, so we don't have any damage counters. I made a mistake again. That's so annoying. Alright. I didn't even think about the fact that we don't have any damage counters on the Blissey because they just straight up retreated. Alright, not the biggest deal. We'll just attach a second double colorless. We'll retreat the Blissey out and go from there. So, kind of 2 mistakes. Not the greatest way that we could have done this, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Alright, cool. So again, not our smoothest way, but we had the out. Typically, we have damage counters on the Blissey. In that instance, we didn't, because our opponent just didn't do anything. So, it is what it is. Kind of a very weird second game, but kind of a fun one in the sense of, like, if our opponent got that last boss, I was actually going to be, like, legitimately a little upset, because that would have been kind of ridiculous. But, hey, it is what it is. Game 2 is, you know, Game 2. Kind of some weird matches so far, but we'll see what we get in Game 3. I will see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3. We won the coin flip, opting to go first. I prefer going first with this. Man, these Cheren's Cares want to be in my hand so badly this game. I feel like I have Cheren's Care in every opening hand, and it's kind of annoying. Overall, though... Oh, cool, we're against Reapy. That's fun. What is with the Cheren's Cares? So, we will Ultra Ball, or Nest Ball out. Another Chansey. Just get those set up. And then what I'll do is Earthen Vessel. I will get rid of 1 Cheren's Care. Grab myself 2 Dark Energies. I'll place 1 onto the active. And pass my turn. That way on the next turn, if I get Turbo Energy, I can attack. Or if I get... if I get the double colorless, I can also attack that way. We will go for an Iono after. Oh. So they didn't do much with their turn, but they did get themselves options that'll pretty much unbrick their hand. So typically in a situation like this, where we see our opponent not have many options or like not do too much, are both their Zatus prized? That's really unfortunate if that's the case. I feel pretty bad about that. We'll go ahead and Iono here. It will kind of unbrick them, but at this point, I feel like we have to. I feel really bad. We'll go ahead and Artazon. We can get ourselves our 3rd Munkidori here. And then what we'll do is, since we have an extra turn, we can go ahead and Energy Turbo here. Get ourselves double Dark Energy. We'll do 1 onto the Blissey, 1 onto one of the Munkidoris. Then on our next turn, we can Iono, and then we can go for return. Man, that's crazy. I have to assume that they're only playing like a 1-1 line. And that's why. And like, so their 1 is prized, which is, again, still really unfortunate. But not like the craziest outcome. But if they're playing like a 2-2 line and both are prized, then that's just really bad. So we will attack with return on our next turn. I feel really bad, actually. We'll go Artazon. Oh, our Chansey's are prized. I mean, that's kind of cool. We may get a cool little like lucky bonus off some of them. So we do get a double turbo energy, which is pretty much all we were hoping for. From here, all that's left now is that we can go return, which is nice. It only has 30 damage on it. We will draw ourselves some cards. Get another double turbo. That's pretty exciting. We are in a position now, at least, where like if they attack into us and they drop some damage counters at all, even if they retreat the Rotom, we'll be able to knock it out. If they keep it in the active, then we'll knock it out. So it doesn't really matter. It'd be pretty cool to get like a lucky bonus, get all 3 prizes. That'd be pretty hype. They can retreat and attack into us. They boss's orders one of the Munkidoris up. Good play on their part. Though we will be able to get it right back out. So not too much of a big deal or anything like that. So the Phantom Dive. I did learn something, though. Somebody kind of taught me about this. That it's better to, when you're playing into this matchup specifically, you want to put like 2 damage counters or like 10 damage around. Since Munkidori can only move from like a selected target. So we can go Dark Energy here. Place it on the Munkidori. Go ahead and we'll remove the damage from the active Blissey. So there's 20. And then we can Happy Switch. Move the energy from that one to this one. Then we can do it again. We'll remove the damage off the other Munkidori. Oh, move. Thank you. We can KO the Rotom. Take 2 prizes. We get the Hero's Cape. Let's see if we get the lucky bonus. That'd be pretty hype. Coin flip. Ah, that'd be so cool if we got like 3 prizes there. We can play down the Hero's Cape. And then what we can actually do here is we can use Arven. We can Arven for an EXP share and a Super Rod. We don't really need the Super Rod for right this second, but it's nice to have it. So that way, if they do decide to boss up another Munkidori, we can always just Super Rod them back in and then find them that way. And for now, we will Happy Switch. Just in the event of a boss or something like that, we want to make sure that we're not losing the dark energies. So it's better to hold them onto Blissey. And so we can go return here. We can set up, it is a 2-hit KO. And then we have the Ultra Balls as well to be able to get ourselves into another Blissey. Yeah, so there's the boss. The unfair stamp doesn't really matter to us. We have the ability to go for return, so we can always get our cards back. They did get themselves into Zatsu, so I don't know why they didn't do it earlier. Because that came post unfair stamp. So it was in deck then, right? So I don't know why they didn't do it off the evolution earlier. How do we want to play this? We can only get one Munkidori off, at least at the moment. Because we have to move the Dark Energy, and then we have to move it back to the Blissey in the active. So we'll see how they move their energy around. Or I always say energy, I mean damage counters, but I don't know why I always say energy. Unless we draw into a Dark Energy here, that'd be kind of sweet. The Ultra Ball isn't too bad for us. It would allow us to go into Blissey. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. It'll allow us to go into Blissey here. And the reason why that's important in this scenario is it allows us to have an extra movement of Happy Switch. So we can Happy Switch here, go Munkidori to the active, or we can move damage counters off our active. And we can just start placing them onto the Xatu to stop potential energy acceleration. We can go Happy Switch again here, move it to the next one. Move the damage counters off the active. And that way, on our next turn, we'll be able to do the same thing. The only thing that actually is kind of bad here is the fact that we're going to lose out on a lot of Dark Energy. Because this Blissey is about to get KO'd. We'll be able to draw a whole new hand here. We are losing out on a ton of Dark Energy, which we're not really super happy about. If we're able to get the happy bonus here, we got Tails again. That would have been super big, because then we could have looked for... We could have looked for another option. But we're still fine, because we only need pretty much, like, one more KO. More or less, because what we're going to be able to do is knock out the Xatu on the coming turn. So if we're able to get into boss, we can just boss up one of the Dreepies, or even the Radiant Alakazam, and we're pretty much good to go. There's an Ultra Ball, so they will be able to get themselves into their other Dracopult. We'll be able to save one Dark Energy, thanks to Blissey, so we're pretty much good here. We'll see what they decide to do. The Iono doesn't really matter to us too much, as long as we, like I said, as long as we get into any Dark Energy, we're fine. We get into another Blissey that's very similar. Since we'll, like I said, we're going to be able to place the... Since we already have the EXP share, we're going to be able to move the Dark Energy onto it anyway. So it's not too big of a deal. The Collapsed Stadium is a little annoying. But I think we just give up Chansey. Them getting rid of the Zatsu is pretty big for them. So that turn went really, really well for our opponent. That was definitely a pretty big turn for them. We'll see what we get off the top deck. We do get a Pokégear. We do pull the boss. And that's going to be game for us. Them playing the Rotom really, really helped us. I guess they had to play it because they need it to make space, like with the Collapse Stadium, to like force a discard. But it ended up working out for us pretty well. So what we can do now is we can go Happy Switch. We can go to the Munkidori. We can Munkidori, take the damage counters off of it. Obviously, if we had more and more Blissey, it would be better. But this is what we have to work with. Not that it matters. We hit the damage number anyway. We put it back to the active. Then we boss the Rotom. And then we can just hit for 160. Taking the KO. And sure, we'll draw some cards. Why not? So we didn't even get to really utilize everything to the best of our abilities. And we still weren't in too much danger. And we kind of played some of this stuff a little bit not as great as we should have. Definitely with all the cards being new, I'm more prone to making mistakes, still trying to learn how to play the decks and like still get everything right. But even then with that and like our opponent getting some pretty good turns going, we're still just so far ahead because Blissey counters Dracopult so well. So that's going to be game number 3. We'll jump into game number 4 in a minute and I will see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into the next game, and it'll be game number 4. We do open with nothing, so we're going to mulligan this hand away. We'll get to see what our opponent's playing momentarily. We'll hopefully open something a little better. Not much, but it's okay. Hopefully we get something off like the Pokégear or something. We do at least have Nest Ball. We can potentially find ourselves in energy, so we'll go from there. But definitely not a great opening hand. We'll see what our opponent's playing in a moment. They got to draw their card off the mulligan. Hey! It's another Dreepy Dracopult matchup. Though our hand's really bad, so they may be able to actually get ahead of us. Unless we get to like Pokégear into like Iono or something, that'd be pretty hype. There's an Earthen Vessel. They got rid of the Enhanced Hammer. That's pretty big for us. Because the Enhanced Hammer can be like kind of annoying. Alright, pretty underwhelming turn from them. Lost Vacuum's okay. Not anything too great. We'll go ahead and get our Chansey out. We will Pokégear. We do find the Iono. So we'll Energy Loto here. We do find the Dark Energy. So at bare minimum, we can go Dark Energy here. Get our TM. Then we can go ahead and Iono, get ourselves a brand new hand, shuffle their energy that they wanted back into the deck. Place this down. We get a whole lot of things we don't really love. Would have been super nice if I knew I was going to get the Switch, because I could have put all this on to... I could have put everything onto the Chansey. But it's not that big a deal. We'll go place onto the Chansey. Our Munkidori is unlikely to get KO'd. Not that it's impossible, but it's just kind of unlikely. We can use the switch, get into Chansey, get into Blissey, and then if we have to, we can even Arven on this turn, or on the turn coming up rather, get ourselves into Blissey, and kind of be able to go from there. What's nice is that we're guaranteed the KO on the Dracolock here. On our following turn, anyway. We know they have a rare candy in hand. We know they're going to be able to go for an evolution, so they're going to be able to get Xatu and a Dracolock. What did they get rid of? Another Buddy Poffin. Yeah, I don't think that was a good play. Because that means their hand right now is Rare Candy Dracopult. So they're not going to have an energy to draw off of with Xatu. So they're going to be banking on their top deck and what they can get from Draco, like the Draco Detective. So let's go Arven here. We'll grab ourselves an Ultra Ball. And we'll grab the EXP share. We will discard the Pokégear and the EXP share because we don't really need those as much right now to guarantee ourselves Blissey. We can get that. We can use the switch. Bring this into the active. Wrong ability. We can happy switch. Get Blissey EX into the active. We can hit the return on the Dracolock. Get the KO. Draw ourselves a whole new hand. And take a prize card. Cheren's Care. Man, I was just thinking, imagine if we got both of the heads on that last game where we got the Blissies onto the bench. Had we gotten both heads, we would have won the game so much sooner. Wow, they top decked into Unfair Stamp. What are the odds of that? Actually correct. What's with the Dracopult players getting so bailed out? So many people got bailed out in this video, it's actually nutty. But not the biggest deal in the world because like they can't even attack into us even if they wanted to. I think that was a really bad play. There was no reason to evolve there. Because like they'd want to be able to keep that just to be able to draw off of on the following turn. Because they still need a Psychic Energy. So they already manually attach for the turn. So they could Psychic Energy onto the Dracopult in the back, but like you may as well have just kept it as a Dracolock. Just so you could at least use its ability next turn. Like it does no good for you now as a Dracopult. Okay, they get Natu. Super Rod? To what, put... What is it, 2 Fire Energy in the discard? No, they can go 1 fire, 1 psychic, and a Draco. Okay, for a second I thought they didn't put the fire energy back, and I was about to be, like, shocked. So we can go Chansey. We'll go... We'll put the dark energy down on the Chansey for now, just so we have it in play. And then we can just go return here. Knock out the Natsu. Again, draw ourselves a whole new hand. We have the boss's orders. There's the Iono. So we can make another Chansey here. The Natsu works for us because we wanted to boss this up on the next turn anyway, just to get rid of their draw options. There's Psychic Energy. Imagine right now they had the Dracolock still, so they could still get them, so like they could dig 2 cards deeper. The Iono doesn't really matter. Actually, it kind of works out for us all the same. Actually, if they can't even get into their Dracopult right now. But even if they could, which they can't, because we have Nest Ball double Chansey, if we could get ourselves into... So we'll go this. And then we will just Iono again. That's pretty cool. We can go Hero's Cape. We'll Energy Switch, or Happy Switch, whatever you want to call it. Just throw that onto the active. Then what we can do is just return. Knock out Zatsu. Draw ourselves 3 more cards. Got another Chansey. Really all we're looking for at this point is a Cheren's Care. Which, ironically, this is the one game where we're not finding them. Normally, we can't not find them. But if we can get into... Oh, okay, cool. Why do they put... Why are people putting the Rotom onto the board when they know that I can just knock it out? Well, really, I'm just going to put the damage counters on a Manaphy, but the point is still the same. So that's fine by me. Oh, hey, cool. So we got everything that we needed for this play to work. Right? We should. So we can go Roaring Moon here. Then what we can do is Earthen Vessel. Yep. So now what we'll do is we'll Energy Switch. 1 Dark Energy. And we can Energy Switch another. And then what we can do is manually attach. We will Cheren's Care to pick up the active. We can bring in our Roaring Moon. place the energy or the Hero's Cape onto our Blissey. We throw down Chansey. Then we can just Frenzied Gouging. Knock out the Dracopult. Take 2 more prizes. We have the double turbo. So they can come in, they can knock out Chansey. Or knock out the Roaring Moon, rather. But then we just walk Chansey in. Curious what they're going to go for. Okay, so then they're going to knock out the Chansey here. Use the damage counters to knock out Roaring Moon. Which is still fine for us, not really a big deal. If we get ourselves in a boss, that's pretty hype. So there's 30 damage. They have 30 damage more to move around. So they take 3 prize cards. We do lose a lot of our dark energy there. But we can just go Blissey. Throw that down. Throw that down. We'll... don't really need to do anything. We can just go ahead and hit the return here. And then we knock it out on the next turn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They don't have anything they can, like, replace it with. They don't have a way to heal this unless they Professor Tauros. If they boss something up, it doesn't matter, since we have a double turbo to replace it with. And they can't take 3 prize cards on this turn. By the way, the Roaring Moon play is like not optimal to do so early. You want to use it to actually close out your prize cards. I had 3 remaining. The main reason why I still did it is I'm not worried about losing this game. So it's like fine to take the risk. Like objectively, it would be better to not do that right now. Because we'd want to wait on... Like, it would have been better to have, like, triple Chansey and, like, all that kind of stuff and just keep moving damage counters until we know for a fact that, like, alright, we have 2 damage... You know, we have 2 prize cards left and all that. But like I said, I'm not worried about losing this game by any means. So I just kind of want to show off what the play looks like. So you guys get kind of what I'm talking about for future reference. But... Also, because like I'm pretty positive this is going to be the last game of the video, and I didn't want to go without showing why I run it, even if that's not the perfect example of why it's good, if that makes sense. So our opponent can take 2 more prizes here. Again, doesn't really matter. We bring Chansey back in, and we're going to hit for the KO anyway. And just for the fun of it, we can throw this, you know, the dark energy down. And place some extra damage, because why not? Shore it up. Hit for 160. And close out our game. Hey, another Blissey. But yeah, so that's going to be the final game, guys. I hope that shows how strong Blissey is, especially into Dracopult, but kind of in general, it's actually kind of a really annoying strategy to deal with, just because of how tanky Blissey can get, how fast you can get it on the board. If you get lucky and you end up being able to flip heads, unlike me, 50-50 chance, failed twice. But if I were able to hit heads, like in that one game, we would have like just won the game much sooner because we got 2 prize cards off of it, or would have gotten 2 prize cards off of it. So overall, it's pretty cool. Also, having the Roaring Moon in the deck, I think, is really, really optimal. So if you haven't tried it yet, definitely try it. I think it's really, really strong. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think of the list. Definitely know what else you want to see for the new set. I have a bunch of new cards that I have to get out and do. So I have not really any particular order on them. I know I want to do Greninja EX soon, so I'm going to be getting the cards for that. That was requested. But yeah, be sure to let me know what you want to see next on the channel. All that kind of stuff. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of YouTube stuff. Like I said, be sure to join the community Discord, as well as the community tournament coming up on June 1st. It's 6:30 EST. And so yeah, see you guys in the next video. Much appreciated. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.